The first time I ran a marathon, I was like 23. This was quite a big step for me. I signed up for it on a whim because it was my cousin's idea. My cousin was like, yo, let's run this marathon. His uncle, my dad, was like, let's run this marathon. Me and my dad signed up, my cousin didn't. And I started training, and I was smoking cigarettes, and I was drinking. And but the more I ran, it was just like, yeah, I need to cut out these cigarettes. This holding me back from my run. And I really was doing this marathon because I was basically doing nothing else with my life. And I was like at that stage when if I was at something and people were like, oh, so what are you up to? Like I had to make shit up because I was like, in my head, all I was doing was smoking weed basically. So I could say, oh, I'm training for a marathon. And, I took it pretty seriously. And running feels good. It's one of the most natural things that you can do. Once you get in a good running groove, it feels good. And then training, and it got to the point where, I'm at the starting line. And I spent the last 2 days just self-sabotaging, getting drunk, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. I didn't think about it that way. I ran it on a Sunday morning. The race was on Sunday morning, and Friday night I got annihilated and did heroin. So there's some self-sabotage going on, and it really came to the front in my mind or whatever when I was just about to start the race, and I realized like, yo, I'm not. I started thinking like, I'm not ready. I can't do this. This is too much. I should quit. It'd be very Clark of me to quit. I realized I had this identity or the self-identity of just seeing myself as just like a jokester, as a clown. And it would just be, oh, it would be so funny if I just, I bailed before it even started. And then I realized I was like, I'm not cool with that. That's unacceptable to see myself that way. I'm in my 20s now. I need to grow up. And then I realized I was like, I'm going to run this race no matter what. I'm going to finish this race if it kills me. And I finished the race, and it didn't kill me. And then many years later, I ran a 50 miler. And these things I never thought I could do. A marathon seemed so far out of reach, seemed ridiculous and unattainable before I did it. And physical stuff is one thing, but doing it, so you can give yourself that ammunition in your mind that you can do hard stuff is good, that you can overcome, you can get through stuff. We're doing this 50 mile, I did one 30-mile loop and then two 10-mile loops. After the 10-mile loop, or after the first 10-mile loops, there's only 10 minutes left, or excuse me, 10 miles left. A bunch of people had quit. It was quit or finish. So it was just like me, my friend, this one other guy were going to do the final loop. And then we saw this one other dude who was like, we're like, yo, let's go. And he's like, nah, man, I'm good, I'm done. And then for a second, I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. It's, he did 40 miles. It's a long way to run. But then I was like, nah, bro, let's go. And he's like, all right. And he got up and he came with us and he finished it. So I think a little encouragement, either it's to yourself or to others, can go a long way. I mean, there's been time, in that first marathon I ran, there's times when you're running on you're running the route and it's towards the end of the race, so the herd is thin, and sometimes you're by yourself and you're isolated and you're going slow and you just see someone out there that's cheering you on, and it's like you want to put a little more pep in your step when someone's out there cheering you on and be like, yes, and like you want to seem strong, and even something small like that is encouraging and motivational, wants you to do better. I think if you encourage people, or when someone's encouraging me and going through a hard time, it's like I want to rise up to what they think. Like I want to rise up to their encouragement. I've learned this many times that I'm actually a lot more capable of things than I thought. I think most people are stronger than they think they are. They just have to realize it.